Hello and welcome to Mama Says. I'm your host, Amber Autry, and I'm so excited for this week's episode. I talked to Kells the Comic and her mom, Faith, and I love them both. They are so funny. They need their own TV show together. I think they would disagree because they already spend so much time together, but it's what the people need, honestly. And you'll believe that too after you listen. We have a great conversation. We talk about how Faith and Kells both left their musical careers behind and why. Faith also opens up about how she initially didn't want children and how she came to grow into the great mother that she is today. It's an amazing episode. Faith gives great advice. Kells is, of course, hilarious, and you can see that she got it from her mom, Faith. You're going to love it. So sit back and enjoy this episode of Mama Says. What's up, Kells?
Oh, wow, what's going on, Amber?
How are you?
I'm great. I am excited about this.
Me too. I can't wait to meet your mom. What's up, Faith?
Amber, can you promise me something?
Yes.
Can you promise we will remain friends no matter what my mom says? Okay.
Oh, that's a big promise.
Oh, okay.
Don't even try it.
Don't.
I'm banking on this friendship to work, and it's like, but then you said, can you add your mom to this? So I was like, ooh. I kind of want to stay friends though. You know.
Now, how can your mom be bad when she's rocking your merch right now? Come on.
She does this so then after the call, she can be like, you saw that I rocked your merch, right? I want an extra room to the house that you get me when and if you do blow up. So
When you blow up.
Yes, when I blow up.
Okay.
Your mouth to God's ears.
Stop.
See, I thought I was the old lady. What's happening, Mom?
Shut up. I mean, hi.
Hey.
Hey, number one.
Hi, Mom.
Oh. Do you call her number one?
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's factual. It just so happens I was the first child.
Oh, okay. I thought it was deeper than that. Okay.
No. That's what you were like. Oh my God, this
is.
lady is just no.
Amber,
She
really
counted
is.
the amount of kids she had, and she was like, "Well, this was the first one."
No, your mom. You go ahead, Faith. It's deeper than that?
Definitely deeper than that. She has, okay, just let me say these. She's introduced me to things for the first time, even though she's my child. So she's number one. She got me to the church that I go to now, even though she don't go no more. But she got me to that church. It's yes, but it's other things that she has been number one in my life about. So, and plus she has a complex because I got another daughter.
It's not that I have a complex that she has another daughter, because she does have another daughter. I don't know if I have a sister. We can work that later.
Uh-oh.
But it was like I was in this world for 7 whole years, and I was like, oh, okay, this is my mom, this is me. And she was like, but I'm gonna just add a little razzle dazzle to the family. And I was like, okay, cool, let's see if this works out. And it didn't work out, and there wasn't a return policy. That's my thing. Like, so
Wait, so you had a child like later in life, like after Kells, or
later in life. Indeed, later in life.
I had Kells when I was 30. I had her sister when I was 37.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what I said. Wow.
So wow.
So when I told Kells I was pregnant, she was like, okay, cool. About 7 months into the pregnancy, she was like, can we stop this? No, we cannot. It has to happen. But
no,
yeah.
but then she had the baby. The baby's name turned out to be Imani, and it's fine. We're sisters. I love her. We can keep her. But if there was a return policy, there was a time when we could have just returned her. Yeah.
Was it just you two girls?
Yep.
What was
Yep.
it? What was it like having a child? Like later, you sounded surprised that you were having another baby.
Well, when I found out I was pregnant with Mikhail, I stayed locked in the room for 2 months. When I found out I was pregnant with Imani, I stayed locked in the room for 4 months. So by the time I came out, everybody was happy to see me, treating me real nice. So I wasn't that excited when delivery day came because I'm like, all this good stuff is going to stop. The people are going to stop catering to me or whatever. But it was interesting. At 37, you're high risk. So I was high risk, but other than that, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay.
Because by the time Imani came along, Mikhail could be a help if she wanted to. Most of the time she was sabotaging stuff, but when she wanted to be helpful, she was very helpful.
How old were you when your sister came around, Kells?
I was a whole grown 7 years old.
Oh.
I had my my own ideas, my own beliefs, my own room. I had like established my role in this family. And then here comes this little baby like, hey, I want to do stuff and be a part of this too. I'm like, what is that? So
is she a performer as well?
Yes, she doesn't do comedy, although I will say if you catch her on the right night in the right mood, she is hilarious.
Because she was trained by Mikhail. Sometimes when I'm in between them, in the middle of them, all I could do was just run for cover. I'm like, attack the mama today.
So you want to know what's funny? When I was younger, my mom used to go, I don't play with kids. I didn't play when I was a kid. I didn't play games. I didn't play with the other kids. I don't think comedy is funny. You sit up and you watch the Three Stooges. The Three Stooges are stupid. What is that? And I used to be like, that is crazy because this is prime comedy here. Like, do you see this? This is hilarious. And I was just like, okay, somehow we, because she don't play with kids, I'm a kid, so I was like, I like to play. What are we doing here?
So to the question is, does my other daughter perform? Yes, she does perform. We come from a family that sings. So when both of my children were young, they were in a singing group with their cousin. So
what's that face, Kells?
Mikhail never wanted to be in the singing group. She sang tenor in the group. She sang the bottom, which was the easiest part. And she'll get it right about 60% of the time. But that other 40%, we were yelling at her, Mikhail, this is your part, Mikhail, this is your part. So when she did her first show, she texted me, Ma, because we was like, Mikhail, do not sing, don't do anything, don't just sit down, don't sing. This is not your life. So after her first show, she texted me, Ma, I got a mic in my hand. Because they all grew up with microphones. But we wanted her to put hers down. But now we're so happy. Yes, microphone.
Okay. So the real story, because you got her version of it, the real story was my sister was, because me and my sister are already 7 years apart. Right. So it was my sister, and then it was my cousin who was like only a few years older than her. And then it was the seasoned me at the age of like 14 or just some old, weird, awkward age, right? Also,
maybe 12,
I have been...
maybe.
Okay, maybe 12. Whatever the age was, they were significantly younger. Like if they were 12, Imani was 6. Like it wasn't like these were ages that were supposed to be together. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is I have been 6 feet 12 since the age I was 3. Okay, so here were these normal sized children, and then there was me, and they were like, "This is my song," and I was like, "And I'm singing it too." this was not something that I just really needed to do. It was not that I could not sing. It was like, you guys, the more that you hear that I can sing, the more that you will make me do it. So if this is what the no was, I was like, so you would just stop making me do this because I don't want to do this. So then they were like, no, please stop. I was like, are you sure? They were like, no, we're sure.
No.
We don't want it. I'm like, okay, we can now stop asking me to do this. It was so embarrassing. They had me do it at a church one time, at the church I was going to at the time. And here I am hanging out with people my age, right? And then, of course, the children are singing with me. So I do this performance and then have to now sit down with the kids that are my age for the rest of the church service. Like, you're not thinking about what happens to me on the background. What you're doing. So.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to thank her for bringing that up now. In front of
it's
everyone.
The truth. Your truth got to be told.
That's all right. Free therapy is a thing.
So, Faith, you said you came from a family that sings. Were you a singer? Were you?
Yes, I actually can be Googled. I won't tell you under what name, and you will hear a
Fake age.
shut up. You will hear a song that I recorded at age like 21, 22, something like that. And actually, I am the worst vocalist in my family. I have 3 other sisters that can sing the roof off of the place. So we grew up in a house where we sang, we harmonized, we did talent shows together. We were a singing family. Started off in church, drifted out to the R&B field for a little while, and as a matter of fact, my sister under me, she still does performances at senior citizen homes and other little venues.
So, okay, that's amazing. Were your parents singers, or your sisters just like, you're like, ooh.
I don't care what anybody says. Her father was one of the baddest singers on the west side of Chicago. Okay, she's gonna tell you a different story, but
my mother was the absolutely best vocalist I've ever heard. It was no song that was too high. It was no song that was too low. She always told us, when you perform, add yourself, put yourself into the performance. And we were like, oh, man. But my father, for some reason, he thought he was Sam Cooke. Oh, God. He had the worst voice. I had a friend one time, and my friend, well, actually, it's my youngest daughter's father. He was a musician. So we used to go out in clubs and sing sometime, and my father was like, I want to sing with y'all. I want to sing with y'all. And I'm waving him off. No, don't do that. Don't do that. He was like, yeah, Mr. G, come on, sing with us, Mr. G. Come sing with us. My dad got on the microphone and started singing. Now, my ex, he is a really, really, really good keyboard player. He started banging on the keyboard looking for a note. He could not find a note through the whole performance. I was on the floor laughing. And then when he finished, he said, Mr. G, what note was that? I'm like, if you don't know, I really don't know. My father was the worst. But
the worst.
But he sang all the time.
He had confidence.
The confidence was through the roof. Like, my favorite part was if you spent the night over his house, because he was always a senior citizen at heart. He woke up at like 4:45 in the morning. So from like 4:45 to like 5:15, he would be in the bathroom singing Sam Cooke like very, very loudly, like from his soul. And it was like this little like this rattle at it that just really And it's like he would come out of the bathroom like, yes, you could tell like he had thanked his audience for coming. It was like a part of his ritual. And then he could start his day. And it was like, you cannot tell me this man's not a superstar. So I don't care if you think he can sing. He just did it. So
And your mom never said anything to him? She was just like, you go, baby.
it wasn't even like said anything to him because like now the people in the family who could sing, right? So when they would, anytime it was a family gathering, it was a slash rehearsal, right? So if somebody else was off, he would like stop and be like, no, the note is here. And you would be like, let's try to find it. But you knew what he meant. You knew the note that he meant, and you would get on that note. So it was like, we kind of understood the note that you meant to sing. And it wasn't like you had to talk because you couldn't tell him nothing. So it wasn't like you had to. So it was like.
So Faith, why are you like, I'm not gonna tell you what voice I'm under? Did you never want to like pursue singing as a career?
I did, but my personality does not gel with the entertainment world, especially it just didn't gel with it. At the time I was a young single woman, and people asked me to compromise a lot of stuff that I didn't want to compromise. So I just said, well, this is not for me. And then Mikhail's father proposed to me. And I'm like, okay, let's try this one in. So no, I love singing. I always love singing, but I like singing in the background. I like singing under my terms, not having to just fulfill a contract. When I saw the first contract somebody put in front of my face, I was like, nope, this is not my life. I cannot do this. This is not going to happen. So, but you know, I stabbed at it a little bit.
Yeah. The contract, like just a bunch of rules and stuff that wasn't you.
Bunch of rules that wasn't me, and it was too much of it that I really did not understand, and nobody wanted to explain it to me. And so I'm like, I can solve this real quickly. If you don't want to explain it, I'm just not going to do it. I was okay before the contract came along, but with the short time that I did try to pursue entertainment, I learned a lot. You know, I met a lot of great people. I am prepared to be the mother of a professional entertainer because so I'm like, okay, it was for something.
Definitely. So what, like, did you always want kids, or what was your life like before you had kids? What was your Kells?
No, this is great. I can't do I get a copy of this afterwards? This is
I never wanted kids. I'm still not sure. But I like them better now than I did when I first met them. But, when I was
free therapy.
When I was 30 years old, I turned 30 in September. I'm like, I'm going to the doctor and tell them to remove all the parts I've never used before. I just want them gone. This is good for me. Yeah. Before I could get to the doctor that year, that October, I was pregnant with Mikhail.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh no. What is this? So, you know, other stuff happened. We'll probably could talk about that at a later time. But anyway, she gets here. She gets here, and I look in the crib, and it's this little creature looking up at me. She can't eat unless I feed her. Mm-hmm. She can't get clothed unless I feed her. She seemed like she couldn't stop crying unless I picked her up. I'm like, wait a minute, where did my life go? I'm like, I thought I didn't want to do this, and I'm sure now that I didn't want to do this. But
yeah.
But like I said, she grew on me. She just She was a beautiful baby. People used to stop me in the elevators and say, "She is so beautiful. That is a beautiful baby." And I'm like, okay, I'll keep her.
Yeah, that's a big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility.
You know, a whole human. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it changed my life, but it taught me how to love. I thought I knew how to love because I loved her father, and I loved my sisters and brothers and mother and father and everybody in church. But having a child actually taught me how to love unconditionally and make sacrifices. And you don't even think about them being sacrifices until the week after, when you figure out, wait a minute, I should have did something else, but I was fooling around with this baby. Clean it up. It's a good gig. I'll keep it.
Oh. So how did you balance like having still your own life and being your own person while having a child?
It was very difficult. It was very difficult for me because I've always been a free thinker. I got that from my mom. My mom raised her kids to express themselves. Now, if you expressed yourself in a way she didn't appreciate it, you might have got a beat down, but she wanted us to express ourselves. So I grew up expressing myself. So the whole confinement of parenthood took a little different approach on me, because while I was raising my kids, I had to work a job. And when the boss tell me, "No, you got to come to work," and I'm like, "My baby is sick and I'm not coming to work." "Well, you got to come to work." "No, well, we got to have to figure something else out." So I was always figuring something else out, because me and Jobs didn't get along because of the rules and regulations, something similar to the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was a parent that kept they'd like to hear their child's opinion. And Mikhail was very opinionated, and I had to make some adjustments. So it was difficult, but it was so worth it. I learned so much. I am glad that Mikhail came along. Don't tell her that. It was difficult.
That's amazing. That's tough, but like here you are. And now that you have that your daughters are grown, how do you like to spend your free time? Like, do you have hobbies now? Are you trying new stuff? Damn, Kells is going in already.
I cannot wait to watch this. Oh, honey, I can't wait to talk about this.
Amber, don't believe anything she says. I spend my free time at church and volunteering.
That's so nice.
I'm sorry, because Amber be at these shows too, but continue. Church and what else did you say? You said
volunteering
and volunteering. Those are two of the activities that she chooses to do.
Yeah, my daughters try to treat me like I'm 65 years old.
I'm sorry, Amber, I'm sorry. Can I add a question?
Of course.
For the audience? Can you ask her how old she is?
What Kells said.
65 years old, but my mind has not caught up with that concept yet. So let me be free.
Yeah, let her be free.
Be free, she says. Let me be free.
Now wait, Kells, what are you bucking your mom on with the volunteering in the church? What is it?
Okay, I want to make this clear. She does volunteer and she does frequent church.
Okay.
These are two truths. When those 6 hours of the week are done, okay, because I can have shows anywhere from, you know what I'm saying, like 2-3 times a week. And if I turn around, this one is at a show, okay? Oh. And not at the show with her church hat and her Bible, by no means, okay? She is at the show like, rah, rah, with everybody else in the audience, okay? That is that. Also, You can't tell, but Sister Girl has a little tan, honey, because she just came from Cancun.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes. So this is not Sister Mary Clarence that we have on. Like this is she's out here living her life. She was like, "Ooh, y'all are grown." She literally, from the time that she had a bit from 30, she just went right back to 30 and said, "Cool, I'm gonna put these jeans on. These jeans still fit." And I'm gonna just live my life. And I don't have the patience or the time for it, but she continues with it. So
I think that's great.
everybody says that until it's their mama, you know? You tell me.
What's wrong with it? What's
okay, but so again, your mother, Faith, your mother never posted a picture in a crop top and some coochie shorts on Facebook because Facebook didn't exist. But Facebook does exist for me. So that happened to me. You don't know the type of trauma that I went through.
Trauma.
You know what I'm saying?
You'll be all right. You survived.
You don't know that. You don't know that. The free therapist has yet to call me back. So we don't, like, my well-being is pending.
Your mom looks and feels good. Don't you want her to like put that on display?
I do. And I feel like, listen, if you've seen the church that she goes to, the stage is huge. She can display all up and through there. You see what I'm saying? Flip flop display, honey. But because what she really just told you is she's an entertainer at heart. So she wants to display wherever there's a display to display. Okay. She asked me, she said, "Oh, okay." She said, "We're doing the interview with Amber." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "So where's the flyer?" I'm like, "Hold it." What flyer? Where's the flyer? Because we're doing something together. This is for your company. You post flyers for your shows, right? Like, honey, I am arriving. I am going to, where's my flyer? And I thought to myself, this is going to be the rest of my life.
That's an energy, though. You need to hire her as your manager. That's like,
Amber, all right, interview done. Interview done.
I love her. Yes.
Interview. They're breaking up.
This recorded? Is this recorded?
Jesus. I suddenly don't feel safe in this environment.
Add a crystal, Kells. Add another crystal, bro.
Add another crystal, Giovanni. Ooh, mercy.
So when you, okay, you guys are both hilarious. I'm just like, when you, first tell me, Kells, how you like picked up comedy from singing. Like, how'd you go there? And then what do you think when that happened, Faith? Like, I want to.
So, starting with singing, I never wanted to sing, okay? It was something that they did that if I wanted to, I could do. And it was an easy elective in high school, okay? It was like, you can sing or you can play some instrument you don't want to do. No, I will sit in class and yell off key, no problem, all 4 years. Let's do it, okay? So then after that, I went to college and I was like, oh, okay, these are adults now. This is as grown as you're gonna get. So I should probably be serious and be grown. Then I was in New Orleans and Katrina came. And when Katrina and all that happened, in my head, I was like, okay, this is God telling you, you now need to be a 75-year-old woman. You need to get your shit together, okay? You need to find God, be an adult, buy a house. Like, I was like, okay, this is where my mindset was. So like, I came back to Chicago, like I found a church. I was like, I want to be like the best workaholic I can be. And from that point, I was like, I need people to take me seriously. And so I was working these jobs and like getting as high as I could get at these jobs. And then the jobs is pissing me off, like somebody else I know. And so then I was like quitting these jobs, going to better jobs, right? So then I'm at this, I think I was like 30 or something, and I'm at a decent job, right? I'm doing like adult people's work. I'm like in charge of other people's well-being. Like this is where you're supposed to do, where fulfillment is coming, and I hate it. Like I'm like coming home, like this can't be life. Like, oh God, this is so terrible. And at the same time, I'm at this job, and like me vocalizing how much I hate it is cracking these people up. And I am then pissed off because I'm like, I need you to take me seriously. I am an adult. I have this job. And so now I'm pissed off because of the job, and I'm pissed off because you won't take me seriously. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm at the job and I'm like, okay, cool. The other cool thing that I see people doing is stop working and just make money for themselves. What talent do I have that I could just do for myself? We have noted it is not singing. Okay. What is it that I can do? I'm not handsy. I don't want to make sure. I don't want to get dirty. I'm like, what can I do? And people are like, you should do comedy. And I'm like, stop it. You're insulting me. I want you to take me seriously. Okay. So then I posted and I was working with my sister actually at the time. And me and her were like going through this like spiritual awakening, like insert crystals here and all this other stuff. And I'm like praying, like, God, give me a sign. Like, what should I do? I hate working and I'm making the most money I ever made in my life. Like, oh God. And so and people I say, like, you should do comedy. Like, you should do comedy. And so I posted on Facebook, like, okay, y'all. What do you think if I would be a comedian? And like the post just was like, you should have been doing this. Why? Oh my God. And I'm like, y'all being dramatic. Okay. I go to another job. And you know, when you first start a job, you try to be the most professional you can be. So I'm going through this training, being like, you know, very professional. And then they go, tell me something that nobody will believe. And I like wrote down like, I kind of want to be a comedian. And this other guy in the class was like, what? That is, I can't believe you. Cause like I was a person like sitting in the front of the class, like teacher, he didn't do his assignment. Like this is clearly not the comedian. So I fell and tore my ACL and had to get surgery from that job. And while I was on PTO, this guy, his name was Brandon Scott, he hit me up and went, hey, remember that lie you told about wanting to be a comedian? Because you're kind of funny, okay? If you really want to be a comedian, write me a set. I'll tell you if it's funny. And if it's a funny set, before you come back to work, you need to get on stage. So like now you just came in my ego, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to write you 2 sets because also I had to Google what is a set? Like, what like how does a person do this or whatever? Wrote him 2 sets. He immediately emailed me back like, yo, these are like the funniest shits. What? Do this. Girl, puts me in touch with Dario, who had just started doing the thing in my buddies. Go there, have an open mic on April Fool's Day. It was like the longest open mic ever. And then I was a comedian.
That's amazing. It's
right?
like God was like, hello.
Like you should can. And I was like, stop, what are you doing? Stop. Quit playing with me. Like I'm trying to sleep.
That's so dope. So what, Faith, when she called you up and was like, this is what I'm doing now, what did you think?
Well, I said, good, I'm glad. Well, before Mikhail has always been funny. That's why I'm funny. People, I'm funny on my own. I'm funny because I had to defend myself against Mikhail at all times. I couldn't just beat it up. So she tell a joke about me, I tell one about her, sarcastic little comment. She'll make, I make one, you know, to match. So that's, she's always been funny. We come from a funny family. My brothers are just, they kick all the time. And my best girlfriend, who's actually an actress, she has the best comedic rhythm that I've ever seen. So Mikhail was around her a lot. So Mikhail, you know, like God has been working for a long time in this area. We didn't know it, but and actually not only my side of the family, her side of the family, her father and her brother, they are the funniest, wittiest humans I know. So it's got to be some DNA stuff in there too. Yeah. But what happened was when she went away to college, she just acted a clown all the time. So one day I saw her doing something and she had a red nose on. And I'm like, Mikhail, take that red nose off of you. Your mother did not birth a clown. You are not a clown. Act like you're an adult. Take that nose off. And she just didn't pay no attention to me. But the first show she got, she sent me a red nose.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. But I mean, it was something that has been in her. We didn't know it, but it's been in her all the time. She is genuinely, sincerely, and undeniably funny. Yeah. And it makes me mad, especially when I'm trying to set my car, my phone to my car. That was not funny. You can't make Mikhail not clown when you're doing something serious.
Wait, what was it?
I get a new phone and I'm trying to set it to my car. So I'm in the car.
Wait, guys. Wait. Okay. So when I was younger, I can sound like mommy. Like our voices, like the exact same tone, I can sound like her on the phone. Okay. So when I was younger, my granny used to call the house and I used to like just be talking to her and she'd be like, girl, put your mom on the phone. Like this is always the thing, right? So I don't know why it just hit me on this day. My mom also refuses to get an iPhone. I don't know. I think it's a personal attack against me, but she refuses to get an iPhone. Yes. So she goes and gets a new phone and she gets an Android. So I'm genuinely pissed off about this. She's trying to pair this terrible Android to her car. And the car is like, say this to pair the phone. So my mom is like trying to say it and I'm like, chicken through the phone, because she also has me on speakerphone. The solution to all of this would have been, let me take Mikhail off speakerphone, or let me just hang up on her. She would not do this. So all while she's trying to pair, I'm like, chicken fried rice.
What? I don't have a lot to say about that.
Wait, no. The funniest part is, Amber, wait. So this happens, okay? This happens. She eventually pairs the phone, okay? I get off the phone with her. I know in her soul, she is angry, okay? She doesn't say this at the time. I want to say about a week later. She goes, Mikhail, I was very angry when I was trying to pair the phone. Oh God!
You had to let it settle before she blew up.
Oh my God! I had to learn. Like every time, like your mom embarrassed you when you was a kid or something like that. Like it was just such great revenge. It was. If I could do it again, I would. I would go back to something. I would do it.
But guess what I would do this time?
You do this time.
Cut you off like I should have. I tried not to be rude and just click, go off. I tried not to be rude. I'm like, she is not gonna shut up. I did get it paired.
You showed me.
Faith, do you make it to pretty much every show of Kels's?
For the most part, yes, I do. I've missed a couple of her co-hosts, but if it's a show where she is doing a set, I'm there. I went through all the open mics. I went through all I've been there for her. So because I enjoy watching her. I think she's great, and I keep my eyes off her in case that she needs some backup or something. Because actually, I took a karate class when I was in third grade. So
we really want to call on her when there's a need for the third grade skills. I want to thank you for offering those. This is what I have to deal with.
Does it ever make you want to try comedy, Faith?
Oh no, no,
Oh no.
oh no. I like being around entertainers more than I like entertaining. I mean, I do have some skills, but I rather be in the back. I'll sing background for you, and I'll, like I said, come to McKell shows, run up with the microphone to cover for her or whatever.
Mhm.
You know, I think I was a roadie at one time in my life, but I would never. Oh no, never
Oh
have.
no. Because if you ever do, you guys could go on the road together.
Mm, mm,
What? We are tied to the hip. That's
mm.
enough.
That's enough. So you raised your daughters in Chicago, right? Kelsey, you grew up in Chicago. What
Yeah.
was that like? Or like, is your family originally from Chicago, Faith?
Originally from Chicago, I was what you would call a single parent. I'll say I was a single parent. And being a single parent and with my mindset at the time, like I said, I was a very free spirit. We did a lot of moving around in Chicago. I'm originally from the west side of Chicago. McKell claims the west side, but I moved to the south side of Chicago when my youngest daughter probably was in third grade, and she claims the south side of Chicago.
You see why I want to give her back?
So trying to raise girls and maneuver in some of the neighborhoods that we lived in was only by the grace of God. That's why I praise him so, because McKell
So here's the thing though, Amber. For real, it was like it was two different things going on, because it was like, yeah, we were moving around, and yeah, some of the neighborhoods were sketchy, but for the most part, we didn't know that. And like I to this day, like I'm still naive about some stuff. Like, really? People do illegal substances? God, what is going, like I still have like my little naiveness about it. And like it could have been going on like right over there. My mom was like, hey, no, move, don't like don't. She was very good with that. Like also the answer to most questions was no. Like, hey, can I no? Can I want to know? Like, to the point where it was just like somebody would ask me at school, can you no? No. Do you want to ask your mom? No.
No.
Like I'm tired of going through that part of it. No, I cannot come over to your house, but I live. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So like she was definitely very protective of us. It wasn't until like she just literally could not hover over us that stuff was happening, and then it was like, well, now we have no reference to these things that are happening because we literally were in the house until we were grown teenagers.
Mm.
And then it was wild. We lived in an apartment complex, and I maybe it was like, I forget how, I was old enough to be able to like walk to the corner store and walk back, right? That was my freedom. Like all while I was walking back and forth, because I would be like in my mind, like, yeah, I'm gonna run away because she put me on punishment. Like, yeah, like I'm thinking like all my adult thoughts and stuff, like this is what's happening, right? And so one day I'm walking back, and this random guy, he had a hoodie, and he twisted the hoodie up like this and put it around like my legs and my body and went, huh, now you can't walk. My whole body froze, and I was like, oh God, is this rape? Am I dying? Like, is this, I've heard of these words, like what's happening? Literally, he didn't touch me. We kind of had some space between us, but it was just like, I can't move. Didn't answer this young gentleman's question. He eventually took the thing off. I ran home, ran in the house, and was like, guys, so I almost died. We gotta move. There's a bandit on the loose. Outside. I don't know what's happening. My uncle like ran out to go kill this guy. My mom was like, oh my God. It was like it in real life, it was a hoodie. I saw no weapon. Like it was not. When I think about it at this age, it was really dramatic when I did, but it was like at the time, like everybody was just so close knit. You know what I'm saying? There was always some family near or around. So it didn't feel as chaotic as it probably really was.
Yeah.
So like when I got to college, I was doing wild stuff. I know I called my mom one day and was like, hey, I'm on my way to the club. Click.
Oh.
Like you can't do nothing now. Like meanwhile, it was people in Chicago, like while I was in high school going to the club. I didn't know because I was doing some other stupid stuff, going to church. Stuff like that.
Did you worry about her when she was in college, Faith? Or by then had you?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think the first quarter, we stayed on the phone at least 4 hours out of a day every day. The first quarter, I was like, oh my goodness, my baby is gone. And it was something. But then I got used to it. The next thing I know, she was back. So
and what was crazy was she was nervous about me, right? Oh, this is so embarrassing. While she was nervous about me, I'm in New Orleans, right? This is like fake Sin City. You got Mardi Gras going on, this and that and the other. I was like sipping a wine cooler, like, I am drunk. Oh my God. Oh, my head's so bubbly. My nickname was Suvi, SUVI, which was an acronym for super virgin. Because I was so like, guys, no, like if we were in the club, I was like, no, I'm in the corner. Don't come close to me. Mind you, I'm at an HBCU. It's naked cues going on. And I was just like, oh, no, I've got to go to church before really? Like, she's concerned. And I'm like, they're like, dusting off the Bible, like the Lord said.
Oh, that's good raising, like stuck with you.
If you say so, yeah.
You're like,
I could at least finish the whole wine cooler. Like I was.
So what's the most beautiful thing that you admire in each other? What do you admire most?
I admire the fact that Mikhail is very, very smart. She's a smart person. And what I admire most about her is that she's not afraid to be honest with me, even when it hurts her sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to say stuff to your mama that you need to say to your mama. And Mikhail has always been able to make me see things differently. And I had in my life, like I said before, I didn't think I wanted children. So the Lord did me a good favor. He found the best one and said, okay, you have this one. So, but she is my rock. She's my rock.
Before you try to make me emotional, honey, I don't appreciate that. My favorite thing about her, well, a few favorite things. One, she is smart, and she is so smart that she don't have time for a lot of shit. She's like, okay, no, I figured it out, and just because you didn't does not mean I gotta sit up in this unfigured out mess. Okay, so it's like she has always that like helps me hone my itch when it's like, okay, it's time to go. Like that's not my problem. Like that has helped me, and she is always very resilient. That helps you have a voice when somebody is tough enough to hear what you have to say. That helps you say it in more than one venue. Like with this comedy stuff, you know better than I know. People take advantage of you. People now I'll be like, my man, you say you owe me $35.
Yeah.
That's she's resilient, she's smart, and she is if you tell her something, she a rider. I'll be like, Mom, okay, listen. I shot 3 men. I'm high on cocaine, and I got a trunk full of somebody else's bank's money. And she'll be like, okay, listen, pull the car in the garage. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And it'll be okay. And then afterwards she'll go, now that was dumb. I don't know how you got into this situation. after we get out of witness protection, we're gonna talk about what just happened here. And you'd be like, cool. Like, we'll talk about it. But if you tell her, like, look, I need you to play this role, she gonna play this position, my problem now is she is too supportive. I'm like, look, okay, people will be like, hey, is your mom gonna be at the show? That's crazy.
Yes,
I'm on the flyer. Like, why are you asking for her? Also, I tell jokes. Like, why are you looking for her? So no, mommy, she's a pretty dope kid.
That's so nice. I feel like you guys already share this with each other, but I always ask this question. So now that this is like stamped in time, what is something that you guys would want each other to know forever?
What is something I want mommy to know forever? I'm gonna probably keep copying you for the rest of your life, or for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I gotta do better then. Okay. For the rest of that, I know you can.
Oh.
Okay. I feel like she's gonna use this against me later. Like, I know you can come to my house now and cook me dinner. I just literally told you that.
Yeah, that would be a sentence said in vain, but anyway, I know you can. And I say that to her all the time. She can do anything. And I know she can do anything she wants to. A lot of times she may get angry at me because when she calls me with some, I'm like, just get that out the way because we got business to take care of. Onward and forward. That's it. That's the motto.
Yes, I love that. You have such a good manager, Kells. And then my last
start recording.
My last question is, Faith, what would be your mama says advice, whether that's to other moms or kids? What's your like universal mom advice?
Be aware of the distortion of anger. It took me 65 years to figure out how detrimental my periods of anger were to me and my children. And if I hadn't had my children, I wouldn't have even cared about it because I used to think anger was the thing. You mad, you're mad. But be real careful about what anger will make you do.
That's really good. May I ask, like, how you personally like cultivate that awareness? Like, how do you make yourself more aware and deal with anger?
I never want to be alienated from my children. If I feel that something that I said or I've done has caused a problem between me and my both of my children, either one of my children, then I just have to rethink it. I have to redo it. I have to apologize for it or something, or I have to stand on it and make them understand. But I have to do these things without anger so that it doesn't drive them away. I in my life, I never cared about my significant others being mad at me. I never cared about my siblings being mad at me, and I have 5 of the most wonderful siblings that you could ever have in the world. I didn't care about jobs being mad at me. I didn't care about any of that being mad at me, but my children, I don't want them angry at me because I want to hear them and I want to hear me. So because I'm like, I got to figure out how I got to hear them. So I do devotion every morning. I look for inspirational messages. You know, church ain't for everybody. It's for me, but it ain't for everybody. But you need something to inspire you. You need something to ground you. You need a way to understand that there's more than one way to skin a cat, because anger ain't it.
That's really great advice. That's amazing advice. This has been such a pleasure talking to you both. Thank you both for sharing your time with me. I really appreciate it.
For having us.
Both are amazing, and I look forward to being on more shows with you, Kells, and seeing you again, Faith.
Go to see me.
You ladies have an amazing day. Oh, and let me Kells, plug your Instagram and where people can find you for sure.
At Kells Tha Komic, well, it's KELLSTHAKOMIC, because I went to CPS. On all, yep, she's got it on her shirt too. On all social medias. I even have the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I probably should even get a Pinterest. YOLO. If you're there, I'm there.
Perfect. And maybe we'll hear you can post your mom's song. Like, dig it up, post your mom's.
No, today is Thursday. Amber, today low key is Thursday. I think we're gonna put a throwback Thursday up, and I'm gonna post this song. Oh, no.
I'm gonna call the sister on you. I'm gonna call him money.
Too late.
Uh-oh.
It's too late. I'm the oldest, so there we go.
All right, awesome. You ladies have an amazing day, and thank you again for being you.
Thank you for inviting us, Amber.
Yes, thank you, Amber. This was fun.
Yes, it was.
100%. All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.